Acha. So free radical substitution. Let's go to free radical substitution. So free radical AMRA will study more in details when we'll be doing alkane reactions. So free radical substitution. So always remember, Jay, you'll always do a substitution when you're already occupied. For example, if in a football team, if you have all the players, then if you want to change somebody, you have to substitute one of your existing players, right?
Of course. Yep.
So here substitution is also the same thing. Where does substitution occur? In what type of compounds?
Alkanes.
Okay.
Alkanes. So alkanes are what type of compound? What type of organic compound?
Saturated.
Saturated. Saturated hydrocarbon. So why is it saturated?
Carbon-carbon single bond.
Because
It has a maximum number of hydrogens.
maximum number of hydrogens, exactly. So ekhane there is no way you can add any more hydrogen. It's already linked to 6 hydrogen atoms, and we know that each carbon has 4 hands. So here you have this carbon is already linked to 4 hands. This carbon is also linked to 4 hands. So if you want to substitute any one of the atoms, first you need to break this and then you will substitute this hydrogen with a free radical. So obviously if এখানেও যদি homolytic fission হয়, এখানেও homolytic fission হবে. But actually fission হবে না, there's going to be substitution. So we'll study more in details about this next class. But the free radical generated due to UV light breaks it down into free radical that attacks this carbon hydrogen and then eventually becomes a free radical substitution. So this is free radical substitution. Electrophilic addition. কাদের মধ্যে হয় electrophilic addition?
Alkenes.
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 Nucleophilic addition. কাদের মধ্যে হয়?
Alkenes.
No.
No.
Carbonyl.
Carbonyl compounds.
Carbonyl. Huh?
Carbonyl compounds. So nucleophilic addition, a carbonyl group becomes a R C bond O minus and R prime, which eventually becomes R C OH CN R prime. Nucleophilic substitution. Nucleophilic substitution কাদের মধ্যে হচ্ছে এখানে?
Halogenalkenes.
Halogenalkenes. So halogenalkene কি হয়? We have a carbon in the center. We have, for example, hydrogen, 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 and a Cl. What is the name of this compound?
Chloromethane.
Chloromethane.
Chloromethane. So এটার সাথে when we have uh, what? Hydroxide ion. Hydroxide ion কি হচ্ছে? So this is very electronegative. So this is becoming partially negative. This becomes partially positive. So what do we call this partially positive carbon atom?
Carbanion.
Positive
Carbocation.
Carbocation.
carbocation. And this is a nucleophile. So nucleophile কি হচ্ছে এখানে? It's going to attack this positive because nucleophile means it's negatively charged and carbocation means it's positively charged. ঠিক আছে? And then, so what do we call this? Nucleophilic substitution. So how does the hydroxide come? For example, if it's sodium hydroxide, so sodium hydroxide is a positive, it's a what? It's an ionic compound. So it has a positive charge, this has a negative charge. So this is surplus in what?
Electrons.
It's surplus in electrons. And what is carbon deficient in?
Electrons.
Electrons. So this hydroxide comes and attacks this carbon. This is known as nucleophilic substitution. Acha. Next. Acha. So since we study nucleophilic, free radical substitution, এখন দেখো free radical substitution এ steps গুলা আমরা আজকে পড়বো। So আমরা আজকে একটু complicated একটা জিনিস ধরবো। Let's take propane. So আমি তোমাদের alkanes এর I will not be teaching the basics, যেটা হলো যে how do we name compounds? We have already done it. What are the isomerism? We have already done it. তারপর তোমাদের একটা জিনিস নিজেদের পড়ে নিতে হবে. You need to study one thing from the book, that is what are the different fractions we get from by fractional distillation of crude oil and their uses. This is something you have already studied in O levels. You again need it for AS. Okay. So this is a propane. Okay. This is a propane. This is our starting compound. This is our starting compound. Acha. So first step যেটা করতে হয়, let's take bromine. So bromine has electrons which are being shared. এটাকে আমরা যখন হিট করব কি দিয়ে? With UV light. Actually we don't heat it, it's direct sunlight. With UV light, this breaks down into bromine free radical plus bromine free radical. Next step যেটা হয় সেটা হলো one of the bromine atoms, আমরা এটা কিভাবে attack করে we'll learn it next class. Plus bromine free radical becomes what? It becomes a CH3, a CH2, a CH2 free radical plus HBr. So where did this H come from? This hydrogen. Next step is this plus this plus this free radical plus Br2 will again form a CH3, a CH2, a CH2, a bromine and a bromine free radical. So from here, you can see that for each line, there can just be one free radical. এখানে দেখো, this is a regular compound, this is a free radical, then this becomes a free radical, this becomes a regular compound. Again, if this is a free radical, then this is your compound, then it's going to be this, and then a free radical. So how many bromine did I substitute? One, right? So এখানে দেখো initiation stage. This is known as initiation stage. Initiation মানে you're initiating to form that free radical. This is propagation. Propagation মানে কি? Propagation হলো যে every step one of the hydrogens are being substituted. Okay? One of the কি বলে এটাকে? One of the hydrogens are being substituted. Substitute করার পরে bromine is coming in. So in total, how many hydrogens do we have here? Propane has how many hydrogens?
8.
8.
So how many substitution steps will be there?
8.
8. So please start. Write down. We'll be going on. So next step to আমি আরেকটা step দেখাই দেই. CH3 CH2 CH2 Br plus Br free radical কি হবে? CH3 CH2 CH Br আর এখানে একটা free radical plus HBr. আবার CH3 CH2 C free radical bromine hydrogen plus free radical, sorry, plus Br2 will again form CH3 CH2 CBr Br hydrogen plus Br free. So তোমরা এটা করো সবাই. That's your task. Do it until you have substituted all of the hydrogens into bromine. এখন last step, that is termination. Finally, it's termination. Termination है, all the free radicals join together. So what was the first free radical we got? So this is a free radical, this is a free radical. So you're going to join the free radicals and then কি হবে? So আমি একটু তোমাদের to make it easier for you, let's give the free radical on this side so that this and this looks closer. Acha. So then what happens is you have a CH3, you have a CH2, you have a CH2, and this free radical is then gonna join in and form CH2, CH2, CH2. So termination step is basically where all the free radicals join with each other to form an hydrocarbon or an organic compound. I can give you another example. So these are all simultaneous steps. So আমরা ধরে নেই যে আমরা already এই তিনটা bromine কে substitute করে ফেলেছি. Now we are on the fourth substitution. তাহলে কি এরকম, is it something like this, right?
Yes, sir.
So this is the fourth step. তোমরা কি, did you guys get something similar to this on the fourth step? or in any step?
Yes, sir. Pechi.
Okay, great. And then let's take another free radical, which is on the sixth step. তাহলে এখন তোমরা জিজ্ঞেস করো স্যার যে how is it possible একবার how can the fourth stage and the sixth step be happening at the same time? Because these are all happening simultaneously at the same time. So at any one specific time, you'll have a free radical, something similar, something like this, and at the same time will also get something similar to this. So this free radical and this free radical is going to join together, and then it's going to form an ionic a hydrocarbon. So আরেকটা কি হতে পারে?
স্যার আরেকটু দেন তো, একটু পিছে যান তো, এই ডায়াগ্রামটা একটু দেন।
This free radical is gonna come here and join. So how is it gonna look?
Okay, sir, done.
CH3, CH, CBr, Br, Br. On the other hand, ekhane this carbon will come and join here, this carbon with a hydrogen, and then C with a Br, and then C with a Br and a Br and a Br. Yeah.
পাশাপাশি করা যাবে না?
হ্যাঁ, আমি তোমাদেরকে একটু কমপ্লিকেটেড জিনিস দেখালাম, এত কমপ্লিকেটেড আসবে না তোমাদের।
আচ্ছা।
Okay, or you can also write something if needed. They'll give you the question obviously, so something like, so এটার সাথে they'll give you another free radical Br. So what's going to happen? C Br, Br, hydrogen, CH, Br, H, H, H. So termination step can form, in termination step, anything can form when, if you're reacting two or more free radicals. So alkanes এর আর কি reaction আছে? আমরা যেটা পড়লাম, that was free radical substitution. And what else does it have? What else, what other reactions does it have? Combustion reaction. So actually complete combustion, actually incomplete combustion. Complete combustion mane it's going to form carbon dioxide and water. Incomplete combustion would be carbon monoxide or carbon monoxide.
Wait, so we're done with all of that?
We are done with the alkanes part. So next class I'll explain more in details how alkanes undergo free radical substitution.